Hello, you are highly welcome, Mrs. Monica Nwokike. May God bless you. God bless you, and you are welcome. Very really yes, because God is in control. Because God is in control, regardless of the situation, we have peace of mind in God, of which the world cannot offer. So it is always wise we give praise, we give thanks, and we appreciate all of God's goodness in our lives. I want you to jump with me right now. This way. I feel like jumping. I feel like jumping. Jump, 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 jump. I feel like jumping. I feel like jumping. Jump your way into your breakthroughs and mega miracles. Let's go. One more time. I feel like jumping. I feel like jumping. My God is a good God. Yes, He is. My God is a good God. Yes, He is. My God is a good God. Yes, He is. My God is a good God. Yes, He is. I say my God is a good God. Yes, He is. My God is a good God. Yes, He is. I enter His gates with singing, hallelujah. I enter His gates with singing, hallelujah. As I enter His gates with singing, hallelujah. I enter His gates with singing, hallelujah. Jehovah is worthy of my praise, and we praise His name. I enter His gates with singing, hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah, hallelujah. I enter His gates with singing, hallelujah. I enter His gates with singing, hallelujah. You are worthy, worthy of my praise. You are the Most High. You are worthy, Lord. You are worthy, worthy of my praise. You are the Most High. You are worthy. You are worthy, worthy of my praise. You are the Most High. You are worthy, Lord Jesus. You are worthy, I pray. Worthy of my praise. You are the Most High. You are worthy. You are worthy, worthy of my praise. You are the Most High. You are worthy. You are worthy, worthy of my praise. You are the Most High. You are worthy. Higher, higher. Every day I lift my Jesus higher. Every day, oh yeah. Higher, higher. Every day I lift my Jesus higher. Everybody. Every day I say higher, higher. Every day, oh, I lift my Jesus higher. Every day, sing it now. Higher, higher. Every day I lift my Jesus higher. Every day. Higher, higher. Every day I lift my Jesus. Every day. Hallelujah. Higher, Jesus. Every day I lift my Jesus higher. Every day I say higher, 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 higher. Every day I lift my Jesus higher. Every day, oh yeah, oh. Higher, higher. Every day I lift my Jesus higher. Every day. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. I say, Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Jehovah Jireh, praise your name. Oh, you are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. With my life, with my soul, with my body, with my spirit, I praise you. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Jehovah Rapha, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Utwaka Chineke anyira o. Agidigba o. Agidigba. Agidigba o. Utwaka Chineke anyira o. Agidigba o. Agidigba, 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 agidigba o. Utwaka Chineke anyira o. Agidigba o. Agidigba Jehovah. Agidigba o. This is the size of my God. Agidigba. Agidigba o. That's all. Agidigba o. Utwaka Chineke moda. Agidigba o. Agidigba, agidigba, agidigba. Agidigba o. All right, somebody rejoice and put your hands together and praise the Lord. Our God is a big Coming on to you one by one right now. I see you raised and blessed and lifted by God. Just give him praise. Your dance, your hands. Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. Oh yeah. Aha. I say, Utwaka Chineke Nyira. Agidigba. Agidigba, bam, bam, bam. Agidigba. Chineke dị mma. Onye obiọma. Chineke dị mma. Onye obiọma. Koya. Chineke dị mma. Koya. Onye obiọma. I say Koya. Chineke dị mma. Koya. Onye obiọma. Koya. Chineke dị mma. Koya. Onye obiọma. Nwanne Koya. Chineke dị mma. Nwanne Koya. Onye obiọma. Brother Koya. Chineke dị mma. Sister Koli. Onye obiọma. Papa Koli. Chineke dị mma. Mama Koli. Onye obiọma. In every situation. Chineke dị mma. Call him, he will answer. This is your day. All answer. As you praise him right now, he's answering your praise with miracles, signs and wonders. Hey, hey. I said, Koya. Chineke dị mma. Koya. Onye obiọma. Koli. Chineke dị mma. Koli. All right now. Jehovah is the egwu. Jehovah is the egwu. Jehovah is the egwu, Baba. Jehovah is the egwu. Jehovah is the egwu. Jehovah is the egwu. Jehovah. You are welcome to this very program of this day, being Saturday the 8th of August 2020 from Valencia City of Spain. Greeting from me in the name of the Lord of the universe, Jesus Christ. May God bless you for coming and those that will be joining later. Good afternoon according to Valencia time. Right now it is 2:30 on the dot, 2:30 p.m., which is good afternoon from Valencia City. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are resided, where you are located right now, and when you will be coming across this video. As you can see, the topic, it is Revolution Now to Redivide Nigeria. That is the topic for the program. And this is what I am going to discuss about, and it is open conversation. Everybody is free to make his or her phone call when the time comes to ask any question or bring any contribution pertaining to this topic or pertaining to the previous video I have made in opposition to this very topic. So I remain your humble servant, Evangelist Collins Nyima. May God bless you. I want to pray briefly. Then the proper program will begin. May God's name be blessed once again in Jesus' mighty name, because we have elongated privilege to be alive until this day. God will worship you, we adore you, magnify your holy name. Only you can keep us alive. We have no power of our own to keep ourselves alive. Our riches, those that are mightily rich, are not able to even buy their own life. Not to talk of the poor. But you have given all of us the privilege to see this day. Not because we are more righteous than everybody, but because your grace is more abundant to us. Nevertheless, there are more righteous people who have passed away unto glory and for their own benefit and not as a lost. But the lost are the sinners who die in their sinful state. Mighty God, we bless your holy name. We give you praise, we give you honor, we give you adoration. Let your name alone be highly glorified now and forever. And I pray that you guide me through this program as usual, in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Welcome once again, your humble servant, Evangelist Collins Nyima. Greeting from me by the name of Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior of all humanity, the owner of the entire universe. I'm from Valencia City once again. Then as you have seen on the screen, it is Revolution Now to redivide Nigeria. Revolution Now to Redivide Nigeria is one other issue of discussion on stage right now among the indigenous Nigerians, which are comprised of the Oduduwas, the Arewas, and we the Biafrans, the three major nations inside Nigeria, who were formerly and politically amalgamated by Frederick Lugard and his concubine Flora Shaw. And all of us are experiencing the Nigerian political upheaval. But the truth of the whole matter is there are people among us who are honest to the situation. Even the beneficiaries, there are among them who know the truth of the whole matter, but they are afraid to speak. While some know the truth of the whole matter, but choose to keep quiet over it because of what they benefit from the detrimental and tyrannical system. There are few among them who know the truth and still confess the truth, even though they have enriched themselves very well through this tyrannical political system in Nigeria. However, there are people who have been the victims all this while. I mean generational victims. those whose fathers and mothers were victimized from the day Nigeria was amalgamated since over 100 years. They keep on having children, and their children continue on until now that we are the adults of the present generations. Then the majority of us have detrimental experience pertaining to Nigerian bad governance. Only the minority are the beneficiaries. The truth of the whole matter is that had it been that the Nigerian masses are not suffering from Nigerian governance, many people will not be interested to talk about the Nigerian bad governance issue. The majority, as usual, will focus on their businesses. But the system is truly that even when someone decides not to show any concern about the situation continues to get worse and never at any time got better. It has only been from bad to worse, and it is now getting worse. It has become unbearable to many, and it is now undeniable by any, because formerly some people choose to play the part of hypocrisy that after having seen the whole matter that the system is very, very hurtful to the Nigerian masses, some people will deny that it is not true. They begin to look for unreasonable reasons to defend the corrupt system. But now everybody has begun to feel it, if not feeling it either by personal death as a result of genocide being committed by the Fulani terrorist government of Nigeria and all of the Fulani terrorist groups in Nigeria, or by losing his or her siblings who are victimized through this massacre going on in Nigeria, economically, politically, and otherwise. Infrastructural underdevelopment to the extent that even when particular group of people decide to develop their own portion of area, they are not permitted to do so. And it is as a result of this colonial politics going on in Nigeria, and the ultimate target is that the Nigerian government want to, in the guise of Nigerian politics, Nigerian governance, cattle rearing and cattle colony, to take over all of Nigerian territory in the favor of the Fulanis, which is Fulanization, Islamization, and continuation of the vision of Usman Dan Fodio. Mazi Kechukunwa Marizu, God bless you, you are welcome. As we know, many people have begun to rise up in opposition to this mortal government of Nigeria, with indigenous people of Biafra under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu agitating for Biafra restoration. Some other group have begun now to agitate for restoration of Oduduwa Republic, of which El Zazaki led the movement for the freedom of most especially the Hausa ethnicity in Nigeria, or the Hausa tribe as per se, and all of their related innocent tribes from this ongoing genocide, and now he has been incarcerated for long ago. As I keep on saying, everybody needs the freedom, whether among those who are concerned about struggling to end this freedom and those who are less concerned about it. Everybody needs the freedom. Formerly, people began to accuse IPOB to be the cause of the whole problem, and they used the Nigerian Fulani terrorist government and all of the Fulani terrorist organization using it as a mantra to deceive the people that it is because of Biafra agitation that they kill people. Then if the people can reason very well, how can Biafra agitation be a reason to kill anybody? Biafra agitation is a non-violent agitation. We have not raised arm. We only raise flag and complain about intimidation, dehumanization, and all sorts of degradation we have been experiencing in that country. And as a matter of fact, if people are grateful, IPOB should be taken in a very high esteem by all other people. Though people are now beginning to understand, but formerly it was so difficult. And as they were complaining that IPOB is the problem, they were still killing people in the north, killing people in other parts of the country, with the exception that is beyond Biafra land. And those who were not agitating neither for Biafra restoration or for the restoration of their own nation. The agitation for the dual nation has just begun just few months ago, and from diaspora here, it has not even properly taken root back home. So as a result, to cut the whole story short, in the present time, recently, Omoyele Sowore began to lead a movement titled Revolution Now, which he led late last year and was incarcerated. Then, by the grace of God and by human effort, and most especially the effort of IPOB under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, protest was executed in favor of Omoyele Sowore, who was incarcerated for the movement he led in the form of Revolution Now. Later on, he was released, and we are waiting to see the next line of action from Nigerian government. Then it is obvious that the situation is still getting worse rather than getting better. We were expecting, as a result of Omoyele Sowore's protest, that the Nigerian government will have a rethink, then discuss on how to better things in the system so that the people will no longer continue to complain. And then themselves know the detriment the people are passing through. But rather than bettering the situation, they choose to make things worse. So as I speak, just 3 days ago, being the 5th, 3 days ago, being Wednesday, the 5th of this month, October 2020, there was a reactivation of this same protest, Revolution Now, under the leadership of Omoyele Sowore. And few among the protesters, I don't know exactly the number, whether just one person or more, was shot to death or were shot to death. Innocent people protesting for their freedom were shot to death. Many people hail Omoyele Sowore for taking that step, while many were against him. And to be honest with you, I was against Omoyele Sowore for that protest. My reason being that I do not hate Omoyele Sowore personally, but I wasn't sure of where the protest will lead to, because formally, according to him, he was aiming the protest to engage Nigerian government in matter of politics, taking Nigeria back via Nigerian politics, by engaging into Nigerian politics to taking Nigerian system or Nigerian government back, of which I am against. because I am not interested in taking Nigeria back. So this is the major reason I have been against Omoyele Sowore. It is not that I don't know that the system is so corrupt, it is so detrimental to the people, including myself. I know it quite well, and I know that every problem requires a solution or solutions. But the truth remains that when wrong solutions are applied to problem, rather than solving the problem will be intensified. So that is the reason I was against Omoyele Sowore even until day before yesterday. Even until day before yesterday, being Thursday, I was still against him. Even after the protest, I was still against him until I heard the voice of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu during his questions and answer program, which he conducted just day before yesterday morning, yesterday being Friday, the 7th of this August 2020. And also, I have heard some other broadcasts from other agitators, even before Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Then I hear about people's view, people's opinion, then to finalize my decision whether to continue being against Omoyele Sowore or to support him. Because actually, it is either I should support Omoyele Sowore in revolution now, or I will be against him for my own justifiable reason. And my reason may be also justifiable by everybody or may not. And it can only be justifiable when there is a superior reason over my own reason. And finally, I have gotten a superior reason. The broadcasters from whom I have heard have presented superior reasons while I should no longer continue to oppose Omoyele Sowore as regard to revolution now, but I should rather support him. It is not just because Omoyele Sowore needs support. It is not just because people support him. It is not just because they tell me that I should support him. But it is because they have presented superior reasons, of which I know quite well that their reasons are superior to my own reason of disagreeing with and opposing Omoyele Sowore. Because my reason, as I have earlier explained, is that Omoyele Sowore was aiming at going back into Nigerian politics and taking Nigeria back, but starting from revolution, of which I am against. Now, but I earlier confessed that I would support him if the revolution will be targeted at crumbling Nigerian governance system, the bad governance of Nigeria, and staging a referendum or any other means apart from engaging in Nigerian politics, so that there will be a dialogue or any other means to ensure that the Nigerian mortal governance system is actually discontinued and freedom being made available for the suffering masses of Nigeria. So this is my own take on the revolution matter, and that will be the factor for my conviction to support Omoyele Sowore. And all of the Omoyele Sowore since ever then has been talking negatively concerning my own perspective. All of them were talking in the same tone with Omoyele Sowore and trying to convince us that Omoyele Sowore and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu are pursuing the same agenda of bringing freedom to Nigerian masses, while I am certain Omoyele Sowore was talking about him engaging through politics, while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was talking about continuing Biafra agitation and targeting to have a referendum or otherwise, but outside of Nigerian political system. So these two people we are contrasting in their pursuit, but all of them we are talking about freedom, and I have not seen any possibility of getting that freedom via Nigerian politics, because the Nigerian political system is the foundation of this slavery, and the foundation of this slavery, and the slavery cannot be gotten unless the foundation is demolished, and the foundation being demolished means demolishing Nigerian politics. So continuing with Nigerian politics is a sustenance to this very corrupt and detrimental foundation upon the Nigerian masses. That is the reason I was persistently against Omoyele Sowore and have been opposing him all this while. But now I have changed my mind, and that is the reason I am here to explain. I have changed my mind from opposing Omoyele Sowore, and from now I will begin to support Omoyele Sowore on Revolution Now. And as you can see the title, it is Revolution Now, the best solution to Nigerian political upheavals. That is the best solution. Revolution Now, the best solution to Nigerian political upheaval. It is because I have thrown my support on Omoyele Sowore and on Revolution Now that I give it that title. And this is what I am here to confess to the people. However, my support to Omoyele Sowore is based on conditions, and these conditions will be conditions that some of us can design or some of us cannot actually design, but when I begin to mention them, you begin to see the realities, the effects, and the benefits of this condition, which are not too difficult to be met, and more so the benefit it will yield to me, to you listening to me, to others, and to Omoyele Sowore himself. Mazi Patrick Chukwuma, you are welcome. May God bless you. As you can see, the topic, it is Revolution Now, the best solution to Nigerian political upheaval. So as I continue to explain, I will begin to mention the conditions, or maybe just very few conditions, and some of the benefits. And I have just briefly explained why I was opposing to Omoyele Sowore. Now when I'll be narrating my outlines, then I will be speaking more on the reasons I was opposing to Omoyele Sowore and how we can work together as the Nigerian masses, irrespective of tribe, language, location, irrespective of the group anyone among us belong. But so far, we all together need freedom. We must work together, and we cannot succeed unless we work together. That is the truth of the whole matter. Then the discussion points. 1. Clarifying the equivocacy of Revolution Now and restoration of the nations in Nigeria. You know, there have been equivocacy, that is confusion, perplexity, misunderstanding, and misconception about the issue of Revolution Now and restoration of the nations inside Nigeria. Biafra restoration, Oduduwa restoration, Arewa restoration, perhaps one other or two other nations that will emerge if we should have a referendum and each set of people decide where they choose to belong, I believe more nations will erupt from the three major nations that comprise Nigeria. So that is the reason. One of the reasons I was opposing to Omoyele Sowore, so that I will hear from him and from his supporters on where they want to lead us to, if we should support revolution now. Because I am against revolution now to taking Nigeria back via politics, but I am in support of revolution now to referendum or to declaration of sovereignty, redeclaration of sovereignty of the various states, the various nations inside Nigeria. So this is what the fact I wanted to get from Omoyele Sowore and his supporters. That is the reason I was opposing to him. Not that I just hate the movement itself. Not that I hate Omoyele Sowore, but I hate the system, that is the ambition, the objective of the movement, according to his former declaration that he was aiming it at going back to politics to take Nigeria back. So I know that will not be favorable to me, neither to anybody, and that is the reason I was against him. Some people know what I'm talking about and they are certain about what I am talking about, but some people are timid to speak. Some people will choose to play hypocrisy. Some people will not want anybody to complain against them, or maybe Omoyele Sowore supporters to complain against them if they should speak up against the negative effect of taking Nigeria back via politics. But me, I don't care about what will happen. What I care about is speaking the truth to the people, so that anytime, any day, people will know that I said it. The second point is importance of all freedom expectants in Nigeria. That is the second reason I was opposing Omoyele Sowore, for him to realize and for his supporters also to realize the importance of all of the freedom expectants in Nigeria. All of us who require the freedom, all of the Nigerian slavery victims, we require the freedom, and all of us are important. But in a case like that, some people will forget to recognize the importance of other people in the movement they want to lead, and that is the reason they will make decisions on their own. As the case is, Omoyele Sowore initially made decision to take Nigeria back via politics without consulting other people whether they should support it or asking them how they view the movement before he began. He just began it and concluded within himself and by his supporters that everybody should support him, and whosoever that does not support him is enemy of the people. While in reality, that is not the truth. The truth is that before you tell us to follow you, you must tell us where you are leading us to. And because people have been leading us all the years without defining to us where they are leading us to, and we on our side, we fail to ask them where are they leading us to. This is one of the reasons we have gotten ourselves into the mess we are, and into the high level of this mess we are suffering from, because we refuse to ask questions, we refuse to investigate and interrogate our leaders. And the same thing is what we are fighting against. So it should be stupid of anybody to support a system or anything he or she is fighting against. the same thing we are fighting against can be presented to us in another form, and we begin to support it, only to realize that it will not be favorable to us when we have spent a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of energy, and we find ourselves on a crossroad of which direction we may not actually know which one to follow. So this is the problem, getting ourselves into other complication issues from the one on ground. So these are the things I was trying to avoid. Myself, I need freedom, and I appreciate anybody who take the bold step to lead the freedom movement. Hello, Sister His Edokbolo, you are welcome. May God bless you from our base, Valencia City. You are highly welcome. So I appreciate anybody, all of the people who take the lead of the freedom movement, but only when the freedom is favorable to me. But sometimes people may lead a movement in the guise of freedom struggle, while it is really a movement for intensifying the slavery. So for the fact that a movement is called a freedom movement is not a guarantee, and it is not a proof that actually it is a freedom struggle movement. What makes it freedom struggle movement is defining, explaining the end result. If there will be success, what will be the end result? What will be where will we end? Then if we are to end in Nigerian politics, it is not a freedom movement. But if it is to end in demolishing Nigerian political system, that is the true freedom system, of which IPOB, under the leadership of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, is spearheading. Then other people follow. Now Omoyele Sowore has risen up. Now there are further explanations which have given me conviction to stop at the moment opposing Omoyele Sowore, but beginning to support him. Then the third reason is realizing and authenticating collective aim of the freedom expectant in Nigeria. So as I've briefly explained, Omoyele Sowore had the responsibility to explain the collective expectation, collective aim of the freedom expectant. As we all need the freedom, he should explain to us, explain to everybody how, that is making a video to explain what is his aim, then where he is leading us to, if we should follow him, if we should support him, what are we aiming, what is our target, of which when we actualize we know, yes, truly we are prosperous in the movement to gaining our freedom. But if we fail to get it for any reason, we are not yet prosperous in this same movement. So there was no proper explanation. And I don't do things by assumption. I don't do things by assumption. By God's grace, I'm a realist. Anything I choose to do, I first of all think about it. What should be the benefits? What should be the disadvantages? Then before I will consider beginning it. And this is how proper human beings should be reasoning. And it is because the majority of we the Africans, and most especially from the territorial experiment called Nigeria, most of us do not reason that way. That is the reason we are very speculative, we are very assumptuous. We never face the fact. We are not realistic in our engagements. And as a result, in most things we engage into, we end up being frustrated, being disappointed, being depressed. But if we can reason that way, then it should be helpful to all of us. And this should be the primary step Omoyele should take before beginning the revolution, to explain very well. Had he explained very well initially, he will also have the support of the majority in the initial step he took for the revolution now. The initial one was so mediocrity because of his improper consultation, his improper explanation to the people what he has for us. So in the mind of many Nigerians, Omoyele was still a suspect. But the reason people can point at me is because I speak up. But there are people who will, there are many people who are silent, but who suspect Omoyele Sowore and who can never support him. Those and as such, Omoyele Sowore and his supporter may not realize. But the reason I am being noticed, I am being identified personally, is because I speak up. And that is me, and nobody can change me for that. Anything that is not working in my favor, I speak against it. I speak against it. I am resistant to disturbance. And I would prefer people realize that, so that when I'm dealing with anybody, the person will know that if anything is not favorable to me, I will not accept it. It is better the person does not bring it to me, because the person will already know than we engaging into the matter and begin to quarrel over it later on. So that is what I try to avoid. And only the truth can always set us free from every predicament, from every slavery, from every kind of captivity, psychologically, spiritually, financially, otherwise, matrimonially, politically, and all other aspects of freedom struggle. The fourth one is my opposition and my support to Omoyele Sowore. So as a result, right now I have reduced my suspicion on Omoyele Sowore from 100% to 50%. So I have just cut my suspicion on Omoyele Sowore half, starting from now. So I have begun to trust Omoyele Sowore with half trust, with half of my trust. And the reason being because of the further explanation which I am going to mention in a very short while. So I now declare that I do no longer fully suspect Omoyele Sowore, because Omoyele Sowore has been a total suspect to me since the time he began the initiation for taking Nigeria back via revolution now and engaging into Nigerian politics. But now, as a matter of update, I have decided to cut short my suspicion on Omoyele Sowore to 50%. So I have given him 50% trust, then I still reserve the 50%. Then he himself will convince me by his further actions whether I should continue to increase my support on him or I should otherwise begin to reduce my support on him. So that is the fourth one. Then I will support him because he has begun to take the right step. Then the fifth one is my commendation to all participants and supporters of Revolution Now. However, I will not forget to appreciate and to commend all who have devoted their time, devoted their resources, their energy, their finance, their time, even risking their lives, moving around the streets of Abuja and the Lagos, under the sun, under the harsh condition, under the police and military threats. and most especially those who have sacrificed their life for this very movement. It will be ungrateful to me if I fail to recommend them. I commend them. I truly commend them. I appreciate your wonderful work, regardless of the situation. I have never been against you at any time, but I am against the aim of the revolution now, as previously stated to us that it was aimed at taking back Nigeria via politics. That is what I was against, the system upon which the system upon which the revolution was aimed. But as a result of amendment, I have decided to begin to give my half support, half trust, full support, but half trust to Omoyele Sowore. While I continue to support him, I will also continue to investigate more and more. I hardly trust any person fully for any reason, regardless of how good the person may be. I reduce my support from everybody, then decide to increase it little by little until I fully trust the person, or for any reason, rather than increasing, I begin to decrease my support for any person, depending on the person's performance upon what I have trusted the person. The sixth one is motivation for consistent revolution against Nigerian system. And that is the sixth one, that is the 6th point of interaction. I hereby motivate everybody, those who have not supported, those who have not participated, and those who have been less concerned over the Nigerian political upheavals, to support revolution now, support Omoyele Sowore, support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, support IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, support referendum, support Oduduwa restoration, support Biafra restoration, support Arewa restoration, support any other one or two nations that will emerge later inside Nigeria. Support them. Stand up against Nigerian politics. Stand up against Nigerian political system. Stand up against this mortal rulership of Nigeria. Stand up against Fulani terrorism in Nigeria, in the guise of Nigerian government, in the guise of Nigerian military, in the guise of Mieti Allah, in the guise of those that I know their name and those that I do not know their name. All kinds of Fulani terrorism in Nigeria. Stand up against genocide, against rape, against destruction of people, farmland, against confiscation of people's property without any justifiable reason. Stand up against it. Stand up against governmental impoverishment over the Nigerian masses. Stand up against it. Your life is at stake. My life is at stake. The life of your children are at stake. The life of our succeeding generations are at stake. Keeping silent is not the solution, and fear is the greatest enemy we have as a people. Stand up against the corrupt system. Support Omoyele Sowore. Support revolution now. Support referendum. Support demolition of Nigerian government and Nigerian political system, because that is the foundation of the Nigerian political slavery, the Nigerian political upheaval. We must demolish it, and you are to support it. You are the enemy of the people if you know the truth and fail to support the truth. There are many ways you can support. Support Omoyele Sowore. Speak up. If you cannot speak, support those who speak. You can support financially. You can support otherwise. You can spend your time. You can campaign. You can evangelize the same to many other people. Support Omoyele Sowore. Support revolution now. Support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Support Biafra agitation. Support Oduduwa agitation. support Koiki, support Professor Akintoye, support all of those who are genuinely struggling for Oduduwa restoration. I cannot accuse anybody in that regard for now until I see evidences to accuse anybody. But what matters is this: restoration of Oduduwa Republic is very, very important. Restoration of Biafra nation is very, very important. Restoring of Biafra nation is also important. And the Arewans are the people who are suffering it most right now. Even though we are the first people to begin to suffer it with the Biafrans, but currently they are the people who are being killed most especially the Hausa tribe. So support Hausa freedom. Hausa tribe also should rise up for their own freedom. They must agitate. They must do something. Nobody is coming for us. Even the world powers have neglected us. Most of them are waiting to see us fight. Why they make merchandise of force, trading over our lives, selling arms, supplying arms to us to kill ourselves, while they come and take over our land, take over our properties, take over our governance, then will all of us will turn to slaves anew. Irrespective of the we are slave under ourselves, now it will be a globalized slavery, and it will be intensified over you, over me, over your children, over our succeeding generation. So we must not keep silent. We must do something. Omoyele Sowore needs your support. He needs my support, and we should support him. The seventh reason is my achievement for opposing Omoyele Sowore. That is where I will explain a little further. And that should be the last section. And under this 7, I have 5 reasons. I have 5 reasons why I had been opposing Omoyele Sowore. My achievements. I have 5 achievements. Because I know people will ask me, then what have you achieved? What have I achieved for opposing Omoyele Sowore? This is a proper question every reasonable person should ask me. And that is the reason I want to give a full answer to the question. Not only as answers, because it is 5. Then if I am asked, what is my achievement for initially opposing Omoyele Sowore and now beginning to support him? If anybody should ask me a question, what do you think I will answer the person? So because you are not to answer on my behalf, so I have to bring the answers. And after giving the answers, the program will come to an end. Then, as I will be expecting question contribution from anybody who interests to ask any question or have to suggest or have to contribute on this program or on the past program of which I made in opposition to Omoyele Sowore, and this is now in support of Omoyele Sowore. Now I want to tell us my achievement for opposing Omoyele Sowore. The first one is confession that all Biafran, all Arewans, and all Oduduwa need each other. This is what I have achieved. And who said this? I heard it from one of the broadcasters, even though he would deny he's a broadcaster. Call him freedom fighter, he would deny he's not a freedom fighter. I don't know what he is then. Then it is the 36 years old Yoruba small boy in Scotland who has been opposing me for opposing Omoyele Sowore. Even when I do not hate Omoyele Sowore, he will force that I hate Omoyele Sowore, that I hate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when it is obvious to everybody that I do not hate them. But if any of them do anything that should be against me or against us, I will complain. And I don't compel them to take my advice, but I will always complain if I say anything going wrong. I don't blame Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for opposing Nigerian government in any way. Even if you commit anything against Nigerian government, that I don't care about it. Omoyele Sowore, the same thing. But if they take any step that will reflect negatively on Biafra struggle, on Oduduwa struggle, on the struggle to bring Nigerian government down, perhaps they believe that should be the right step to take, then it is people's duty to tell them this step is not the proper step. It is not that I do not need the freedom, it is not that I am against the freedom, but the step should reflect against us, against me, against you complaining against me. That is the reason I oppose. Not because of Omoyele Sowore, not because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is no level of mistake Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Omoyele Sowore will make that will make me to fight them or begin to. I will always quarrel if their mistake is reflecting against me and against our objective to gaining our freedom. Not when they are anything they like to do, even if they like. Even if they like, let them bury Nigerian government with mouth. That is Nigerian government business, and I don't think I have my time to waste on that issue. After all, the Nigerian government is the problem we are talking about. So that should be a solution and not a problem. So I complain against them only when their actions, when their steps is being designed to reflect against us in any way. That is only when I complain against them. So people should stop misquoting me. So the 36 years old Yoruba small boy in Scotland has confessed that all of us, we the Biafrans, we the Ariwans, we the Oduduwans, need each other. And this is what people fail to understand initially, that we need each other. And from here, I also design that even while I approach him, he began to believe I approach him because I'm in desperate to have friends, or maybe I need him and he does not need me. But now he has confessed that we need each other. And as a result of my opposition to Sowore, the 36-year-old Yoruba small boy in Scotland has now confessed that we need each other. So while I am approaching you or approaching any other person for any reason, it means that I need you and you need me. And somebody must start the initiative. It may be you are less concerned, or maybe you have not truly realized that we should cooperate. Then if I realize first, I have to let you know. And I have to let you know. It doesn't mean you don't need me. You also need me somehow, someday, sometime. The same way I need you. For the fact I am the first person to approach you does not mean that I am only the person who needs you. So these are one of the achievements I have achieved. To hear him confessing that we truly need each other. So from here, he also confessed that I need him, he also needs me, regardless of situation. Then while I approach someone, you should be talking about if anything has gone wrong, or you assume that I've been doing something wrong. You talk about how we should regulate things and not trying to feel you are too important and other people are not important. Then go to hell with your importance. Then you stay on the same and then all of us will suffer it. But if we can cooperate together, we cooperate together does not mean we cooperate together to take the wrong step. But we should cooperate together to take the right step. And for the fact you assume someone is taking the right step is not a proof that the person is truly right. Then we first of all define what is right. Then what is the right step? Then what is the proof of the right step? What should be the result? Then is the step the person is taking leading to the expected end or not? And sentiment must be removed over such an issue. Then the second reason, the second achievement, confession that there is extraordinary power in the unity of we the Ariwans, we the Biafrans, and we the Oduduwa freedom expectants by the same 36 years old Yoruba small boy in Scotland. He has confessed that there is an extraordinary power in our unity, that we should unite rather than being divided. And he is not happy. According to him, he said, I am trying to divide the people at this moment, why I should be helping to unite them. However, it was as a matter of condition, because I was not convinced on the step Omoyele Sowore was taking. According to his initial explanation, that is the reason, because my type will not support taking Nigeria back via politics. So that is the reason I was divisive. And I believe some people will also adopt to my own idea. Then there will be division between us. But when he explained to everybody where he is truly leading us to, what is our utmost goal in through revolution now, what is our utmost goal? Then if you tell us our utmost goal is to bring the system down, the Nigerian political system down, and conduct a referendum, that is certain, and that has been the utmost goal of IPOB and all other agitators. But when you say it is going back to politics, it is not our utmost goal, so I will not support it. And those who reason like myself will not support it. And that the goal will be the real divider and not me. And if you support the goal, you are also the real divider, because you are not realistic. But if you are realistic, we have to tell ourselves the truth, tell ourselves what we are looking for, and the means and where we are to get what we are looking for. So we don't have to work by assumption, neither by sentiment, because a particular person is too dear to me, I have to support him. And there is nothing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Sowore can do that will be that will be wrong in my eyes. That is for you, and it can never be for me. If they do anything that will reflect negatively on me, it will be wrong to me, and I don't have to accept it. I don't have to accept it. So, but I have to indicate that this thing they have done is not beneficial to me. But if they do everything wrong to the Nigerian government, I will even support them, because that is what I've been looking for, so that the Nigerian government system will crumble. So depending on the kind of wrong thing they do. So, and you don't expect me to be hypocritical like you. I am whom I am. I am myself, and I will behave like myself. I don't have to be hypocritical like you, and I can't love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Sowore hypocritically. I will love them with reality. I will love them with reality. They are not my enemies, and they can never be my enemies. But you are trying to create enmity between us, of which you are too small to succeed in. Then the third reason, confession that neither Sowore nor any other person can truly build Nigeria through Nigerian politics. The same 36-year-old Yoruba small boy in Scotland also confessed that neither Omoyele Sowore nor any other person can truly build Nigeria through Nigerian politics. And this is what I have been lamenting upon, that Nigerian system is beyond repair. Nobody, it is not about whom is the president. It is about an established system that is meant to rob the people, to deprive the people of their benefits, to enrich more and more the politicians themselves, both the Nigerian local politicians and the world international politicians from different nations, from different continents. So international politicians, the colonies, are beneficiaries from Nigerian resources, from Nigerian politics, from Nigerian everything. Seizure of power, seizure of industrialization. And that is the reason Nigeria is not industrialized is because the international politicians, the international business mafias, the international globalitarians, the colonies have to market their own product inside Nigeria. That is the reason they have made us to be dependent on them in importation of everything and by force. Even when some people decide to begin to manufacture anything, they will forge one or two allegations to crumble the people's company, to discourage them and frustrate them, so that other people who see them as example will no longer try to do the same thing. That is the reason we have all this while, years after years, we are going backward in terms of industrialization. I'm just giving it as an example. So now it has this 36-year-old small boy. I'm calling him small boy because formerly I call him my friend. He said he is not my friend. I called him my younger brother. He said he is not my brother. So he is now the small boy, the 36-year-old small boy, the 36-year-old Yoruba small boy in Scotland. Until further notice, I will decide on what next to begin to call him, depending on his actions and his reactions. Because I do respect people, but when people abuse my respect, I also pocket my respect. My respect is I pocket it because the people abuse it. So while I call him my brother, he began to feel so superior, so proud of himself, or so relevant. Yes, so relevant. I have been in existence on this earth even before he was born, and I have succeeded on my own, regardless of circumstances. So whether he exists or not, I will continue life. So I don't see any reason. After all, I am the person trying to build up a proper relationship between me and him and all that. And because of most especially what we have at hand, and by the grace of God, as a God servant I am, that is one of my missions, building proper relationship among people. But he has despised the respect. But if he needs the respect, he will indicate. If he does not need it, I will pocket it finally. So for now, he is the 36 years old small boy of Yoruba living in Scotland. So he also confessed that neither Sowore nor any other person can truly build Nigeria through Nigerian politics. So his confessions are one of the things that have encouraged me to change my mind. Not him alone, other people as well. And I listened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast, and I had somebody asking him a question on what we the Biafrans should do in this regard. The Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also said that so long as the revolution is aimed at dismantling the bad governance of Nigeria, we should support it, and that is the truth. But it is not about going back into Nigerian politics to take back Nigerian governance. No, it is about dismantling Nigerian government. And also Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, speaking on, was talking about building Biafra nation. I mean, just yesterday morning, he was talking about building Biafra nation, which is, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in support of revolution now, bringing down Nigerian government and re-establishing Oduduwa Republic, Biafra Republic, and Arewa Republic, and one or two more republic that may emerge. These three may be okay, and Fulani have no place in Nigeria. Then people will begin to consider how to accommodate them, or maybe they will decide to go back to desert from where they come. The fourth one, my fourth achievement, setting the stage for dialogue for true unity, for transparency, and for focus between we, the Arewans, the Biafrans, and the Dudua freedom expectant, setting the stage. As a result of my opposition to Sowore, the stage has been set for transparency, as this 36 years old small boy has begun to confess that truly nobody can build Nigeria through Nigerian politics. But formerly there was no such confession, neither from Sowore nor from any of his supporters. But now, before it was taking Nigeria back through politics, but now it has been confessed that nobody can rebuild Nigeria. No, nobody can build Nigeria, because Nigeria has never been built at any time, not to talk of rebuilding it. So nobody can actually build Nigeria through Nigerian politics. So as a result of this confession, there has been a transparency, and much more of what he has spoken and what some other Omoyele Sowore supporters have spoken in this regard. There has been, so by the grace of God and through my opposition to Omoyele Sowore, the stage is being set for dialogue. The stage is being set for dialogue. The stage is being set for transparency. The truth is beginning to manifest more and more. The stage is being set for true unity. You know, they are talking about unity, but I will begin to diversify the unity. False unity and the true unity. Evil unity and good unity. So unity can be beneficial or can be destructive, depending on the kind of unity people engage themselves into. But mistake most of us do, the mistake most of we the Africans do, is that we talk about unity without realizing that there are diversity of unity, and the two major dimensions of unity, which is negative unity and positive unity. Inside the negative unity, you have true unity, you have false unity, you have evil unity, you have good unity. Then under them you begin to have their branches. So when we talk about unity, we have to define the kind of unity. But here, as a result of my opposition to Sowore, I have achieved setting the stage for true unity. Now, this little boy, this small boy, this Yoruba small boy in Scotland is now talking about we uniting among ourselves rather than dividing. But formerly, people prefer dividing. People prefer doing their own. Nobody was concerned about each other. But now, those who I least expect this unity issue from are now confessing about it. And I pray that God should help us. Unity is what we really need, and true unity, not false unity. True unity is the unity which is aimed at achieving our beneficial goal. Our beneficial goal in this struggle is bringing down Nigerian government, not Nigerian constitution. Bringing down Nigerian constitution is Tony Nade and his lower and lowest Niger Congress, I think. So they have the responsibility. That is their own business. We have nothing to do with that one. Now we should engage into true unity, the unity which is aimed at bringing Nigerian government down and conducting referendum or automatic declaration of restoration of Biafra, restoration of Odudua, restoration of Arua Republic. This is the unity we must engage into. Support Omoyele Sowore, support referendum, support revolution now, support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, support IPOB1 family, wherever you are, whichever way you can, financially, materially, intellectually, otherwise. Bring your positive idea. Support us. Revolution now. bringing down Nigerian government, setting the stage for referendum, restoring Oduduwa Republic, restoring Biafra Republic, restoring Ariwa Republic, and much more things like that. My fifth achievement is to confirm Sowore's and collaborators' hypocrisy and duplicity if they eventually campaign for Sowore for Nigerian presidency. As we have heard from the 36-year-old Yoruba small boy in Scotland, I have now heard from him, others have heard from him, that nobody can actually build Nigeria through Nigerian politics. Then can we at any time, maybe in the next 1 year, if Nigeria has not been completely broken down, hear him talking about supporting Omoyele Sowore for Nigerian presidency? Can we hear something like that anymore from him or from any of the Yoruba Omoyele Sowore supporter? Most especially he himself, Chidi Enugu in Canada. If they have realized that nobody can actually build Nigeria through Nigerian politics, then will they at any time from now tell us to support Omoyele Sowore for Nigerian presidency? If they do so, it means that their hypocrisy will no longer be hidden, and their duplicity to the people will no longer be hidden. It will be actually exposed. They will expose themselves by trying to take such steps. So I have set the stage to make them complicate themselves. Then we have reason to hold them responsible and to quickly realize their hypocrisy without any denial anymore, and to realize their duplicity if they have to engage in such thing. So that is the fifth and the last achievement I have achieved by opposing Omoyele Sowore all this while. So from my sincere heart, I do not hate Omoyele Sowore, and I wish Oduduwa Republic will be actually restored, likewise Biafra Republic, so that sometimes when I am outside of Biafra Republic, Oduduwa Republic will be my foreign nation where I will be traveling to. And if God bless me very richly, I will have a home there. I will buy a home in Oduduwa Republic. I will buy a home in Ariwa Republic. Then I will be visiting there at any time, while Biafra remains my home, and my lovely home, my father's home, my mother's home, my ancestral home, my home forever. I do not hate anybody. I do not even hate this small boy who is somehow disrespecting me. He doesn't know, he knows I'm his elder, but he doesn't know how to respect elder. I will begin to teach him how to respect elder. This small boy, I don't hate you, I don't hate Omoyele Sowore, I don't hate anybody. I don't even hate Mazinandek. I have no reason to hate them. But I hate any mistake they will make and refuse to take correction. That is what I will hate. And I will never keep quiet over it. Nobody can. You are a small boy. How do you think you can influence me to keep quiet over errors? You are a small boy. So forget about that. So this program has come to an end. I don't know if anybody has any question, any contribution about this issue. I am going to continue playing my song between now and the next 5 minutes. If anybody indicates to ask any question or to state his take or her take over this issue, revolution now to divide Nigeria. Revolution now to divide Nigeria. That is the best solution to Nigerian political upheaval. Revolution now to divide Nigeria. So, any question, any contribution in the next 5 minutes, I will conclude. May God bless you as I keep on playing my song and anticipating your question. I praise your name. I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Jehovah, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Baba, I praise your name. You are worthy of praise. Otwaka Chineke anyira o. Agidigba o. Agidigba. Agidigba o. Otwaka Chineke anyira o. Agidigba o. Agidigba, 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 agidigba o. Otwaka Chineke anyira o. Agidigba. Agidigba Jehovah. Agidigba. This is the size of my God. Agidigba. Agidigba o. That's all. Agidigba o. Otwaka Chineke muna. Agidigba o. Agidigba, agidigba, agidigba. Agidigba o. All right, somebody rejoice and put your hands together and praise the Lord. Our God is a big, 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 big God. As you raise your praise up with me right now, oh, all you have been desiring in Him, that's according to His will, they are coming unto you one by one right now. I see you raised and blessed and lifted by God. Just give Him praise. Your dance, your hands, check it back, check it back, check it back, check it back. Oh yeah. Aha. I say, Otwaka Chineke anyira. Agidigba o. Agidigba bam bam bam. Agidigba o. Chineke dị mma, onye obiọma. Chineke dị mma, onye obiọma. Kpọọ ya. Chineke dị mma, kpọọ ya. Onye obiọma. I say kpọọ ya. Chineke dị mma, kpọọ ya. Onye obiọma. Kpọọ ya. Chineke dị mma, kpọọ ya. Onye obiọma. Nwanne kpọọ ya. Chineke dị mma. Nwanna kpọọ ya. Onye obiọma. Brother kpọọ ya. Chineke dị mma. Sister calling. Onye obiọma. Papa calling. Chineke dị mma. Mama calling. Onye obiọma. In every situation, calling, He will answer. This is your day. Justice is just saying you are welcome. May God bless you. You are just joining us and the program has been concluded. It is about revolution now. Revolution now to redivide Nigeria. The best solution to Nigeria political upheaval. So I am expecting to receive any question or any contribution in this regard. Do you have anything to tell the world about revolution now, about bringing Nigerian government down, about conducting referendum, about restoring Biafra Republic, Oduduwa Republic, Arewa Republic, and about supporting Omoyele Sowore, who is the leader of Revolution Now, supporting IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Biafra restoration struggle. So if there is any question, if you have any contribution, indicate. My numbers are there, or you write your question, I will read it from the screen, then I will respond to it. If not, in the next 3 minutes, this program will be completely concluded.
buy just for work. Fighting through...
Praise the Lord. Glory, glory, glory. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Glory, 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 glory. Praise the Lord. Glory, glory, glory to the Lord. Hallelujah. Glory, glory. Praise the Lord. Glory, glory. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Glory, 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 glory. Praise the Lord. Glory, glory. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Glory, glory. Now listen to this one. Praise the Lord. Glory, glory, Lord. We give you glory, Lord. Glory, glory, Lord. You are a mighty God.
God bless you. Thank you for listening. This program has been completely concluded. Until you hear from me once again and very soon, goodbye from me, your humble servant, Evangelist Collins Inyima. And may God bless you richly in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.